0-0-1-0-1. No, I'm not reading a binary code. These were the scores of top 5 Sri Lankan batters as the Indian bowlers woke up and chose violence. Out of the thousands of stats coming out of this game, the most mind-boggling one for me was that Sri Lanka hit their only second boundary in the 12th over, and that too was hit by the number 9 batter Mahesh Theekshana. Another thing which puzzled me in this game was that were the players wearing the wrong jersey in the second innings? Weren't they supposed to play in the whites of Test cricket? Because Wankhede felt like the Wacker in Perth, but the ball was bouncing straight to the keeper, not coming in contact with the bat. For most of the Sri Lankan innings, Rohit Sharma had 3 to 4 slips in place for the bowlers with a forward short leg, sometimes no mid-on, no mid-off, and only fine leg and third man out on the boundary. Post sunset, it didn't feel like an ODI cricket match at the Wankhede. That's the brilliance of this Indian team. Whenever they come on to bowl, the captain encourages the bowlers with attacking fields with 3 to 4 slips in place, encourages the bowlers to go for wickets as much as possible, not to be afraid of getting hit for runs, which is completely different to the template of the England team. Their bowlers bowl 3 to 4 different balls in one over. They bowl fuller length, short ball, a knuckle ball, slow ball, whereas the Indian bowlers keep it simple. They just hit the length back to back after every ball and get the rewards for the same. And when you have bowlers of the caliber of Bumrah, Siraj and Shami, a score of 200 can feel like 350 for the opposition team. A score of 300 can feel like 450. And this is the third time in less than 2 months that the Indian team has bundled out opposition for less than 150. And the second time that Indian team has bundled out Sri Lanka for a score of less than 100. Now it's common knowledge that the ball does something under lights at the Wankhede. And the Indian team has 2 new ball monsters in Bumrah and Shami. And Siraj, who has had an okay World Cup so far, suddenly woke up and chose to be a monster he was less than 2 months ago in the Asia Cup final. But this bowling revolution hasn't happened overnight. Credit should be given where it's due. And the forefront of this revolution was India's former bowling coach Bharat Arun, who was the center of this growth and evolution. And it's so heartening to see that India, who was once called upon as the land of batters, is now considered the best bowling attack in the world. And also the bowling attack which all the batters around the world fear the most. Chasing 358, the ball swung and seemed under lights, and Jasprit Bumrah set the tone with the first ball of the innings, pinning Pathum Nissanka LBW with a beautiful outswinger. Siraj also got a wicket of his very first ball of Dimit Karunaratne and struck in the very same over and got Sajira Samar Vikrama at third slip by Shreyas Iyer. But it was a dismissal of captain Kushal Mendis which broke the back of the Sri Lankan batting lineup. Now bowling coaches all over the world instruct their bowlers to hit that bail trimming length, which is not too short to pull or cut, not too full to drive. And Siraj hit that bell perfectly to Kushal Mendis and also broke the LED bails. The scorecard read 3 wickets for 4 runs and the game was as good as over. Charit Asalanka and Angelo Mathew showed some resistance, but this Indian bowling attack was relentless and kept coming at them, and eventually they threw their wickets away. The man with the golden arm, Mohammad Shami, came on to bowl and got 2 wickets in his very first over and reduced Sri Lanka to 14 for 6, and got 2 more wickets in his very same spell and reduced Sri Lanka to 8 wickets for only 29 runs. Sri Lankan tailenders Kasun Rajita and Dushmantha Chamira stuck around for a bit and helped Sri Lanka cross the 36 of Canada and also avoided the embarrassment of the lowest ever ODI World Cup score. But Ravindra Jadeja then came on to bowl and got the final Sri Lankan wicket as they were bundled out for only 55 runs, which is the lowest score for a full member nation in ODI cricket and also Sri Lanka's second lowest ODI total. Earlier in the afternoon, Kushal Mendis won the toss and asked India to bat first, and Sri Lanka had a dream start as Dilshan Madhushanka silenced the Wankhede crowd as he dismissed Rohit Sharma with the off cutter on the very second ball of the match. But Virat Kohli and Shubman Gill saw the new ball and saw testing spells by Chamira and Madhushanka and started the rebuilding act. Both of them were dropped in the first 6 overs itself. Post the power play, Kohli and Gill looked settled and put together a stand of 189 runs. They looked settled and got to their respective 50s but missed out on their respective 100s. But both of them had done their job and laid a solid foundation for the Indian middle order to score later. It was Shreyas Iyer who took the baton from Virat Kohli and entertained the Wankhede crowd with his 82-run knock, which included 5 sixes. And post his dismissal, Ravindra Jadeja played a very handy cameo and stayed unbeaten and took India to a very good score of 350 runs. As for Sri Lanka, Dilshan Madushanka, the left-arm pacer, was the star of their bowling attack as he picked up a 5-for in the challenging Wankhede conditions. He also became just the 4th Sri Lankan bowler to pick a 5-for in a World Cup game.